coding her mannerisms to try and determine her
That's crazy. They're comparing it to the Bride of Chucky. I mean, it's kind of spot on. Oh shit, they're fucking wildin' for that one, man. Damn, that was sick. Damn, that killed me. It's actually spot on.
motives, while many of them simply longed for the time where she wasn't a public-facing figure.
Hey, this is not a grieving woman.
Well,
We
not
had a
like that,
grief
but-
counselor on here.
Black Cadillac, coupe Cadillac roof. Black Cadillac, couldn't battle that proof. Really that dude, black Cadillac deuce. Hop out the map, black, all black crew. My black Cadillac.
So, welcome back to Honestly Speaking. All right, so today's video is about Erika Kirk. All right, so I've been trying to follow recently what's going on with her and the death of Charlie Kirk and how she's been dealing with it. This whole media run she's been on, and there's just so much weird, strange information out there, like really bizarre stuff. You know what I mean? Like the sales and the shirts, the museum. Like apparently she's got like a museum kind, or they had a museum thing at his memorial where you can go and see the death. It's like a reenactment kind of thing. I don't even know how to really explain it. It's like a set. Like they made a set of the place her husband was murdered. I mean, the guy was only killed not too long ago, and it's like you turned it into a spectacle, a money earning machine. They must have made millions of dollars. I think I've heard somewhere in the high regions of 100 million plus, right? And when you see her doing these interviews, right? You see her doing these interviews, and she just looks. She looks crazy, right? She looks crazy. She looks like I get it. Your husband has passed away. Who's murdered, assassinated, and no one really knows how someone's gonna grieve. But doing it like this, so publicly, is off-putting. Maybe not off-putting. I don't want to say off-put. It is off-putting, and it's weird. You know, I've lost people, not somebody close like that, but you know, I've lost, you know, aunts, I've lost uncles, I've lost people, friends and stuff, and I know what death feels like, and I have not seen anybody who's, let's say, I lost those people, right? Those aunts, uncles, and friends. There was people connected to them closer than I was. I saw how it affected me, and then I can only imagine what those family members have. You know, luckily I haven't lost someone close like this in my life yet. You know, everyone dies, so it'll happen at some point, but I haven't had to lose anybody. And I seen what it could do to people when you use like a loved one like that, so close, a husband, a wife, you know, a child. I seen what it does, and none of it has ever looked like this, where it turned into a huge campaign of earning money. And I've just seen some weird stuff, how she was talking about J.D. Vance, and how if there was anybody that could replace her husband, it would be him. It's like, the dude just died a couple weeks ago. I would hope my wife would not say something like that about my wife, about some guy where he could do as my husband. What? Huh? That's crazy. Okay? You can't do that. Okay? I will come back and haunt your ass immediately. Talk about straight poltergeist. I'm flipping up your mattress. I'm throwing it fucking this way. I'm burning your food on the stove. I'm making you trip down the steps. I'm tying your shoelaces and shit. I'm doing heinous shit if you talk about me when I die. Baby, no, my wife's not here right now, but if she was here, I'd call her right now. I'd be like, hey, you'd say that kind of shit to me about me if I die. I'm coming to haunt you. Anyways, that's enough of that. I think I yapped enough there. Let's get to the video. This is by The Curious Case of Erika Kirk by Lou Extras. I like that name, Lou Extras. I haven't seen any of this guy's videos before, and I mean, it has a good amount of views. I watched maybe like 5 minutes of it. I was like, well, this is nice. This is well done. Bet. Let's run it.
most painful and confusing things that any of us can endure. When navigating it, the strange cocktail of emotions that it conjures up, ranging from loss to regret, sadness, and anger, can make us act out of character or struggle to regulate ourselves as we usually would. but we all know that it's an integral part of the human experience, and so we generally cut people a lot of slack when they're going through it. Although this isn't always the case if it doesn't register as genuine. And at the moment, no one is under the microscope like Erika Kirk. Just a few months ago, the world was collectively rocked by the news that her right-wing commentator husband, Charlie Kirk, was assassinated while speaking at a campus in Utah.
Breaking news out of Utah Valley University.
There's an emergency response there, flooded by law enforcement.
The conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
What a crazy situation that whole Charlie Kirk thing was, right? Like, so many conspiracies have come out after that, and it's just like you don't know what to believe, who to believe, or what really happened. I mean, I'm not a Charlie Kirk fan, to be totally honest. I mean, I'm just not. If you know what Charlie Kirk was saying and what he was going and spewing about before he had passed, I'd have no reason why I would like the guy, you know. But he did have a wife and children, you know, so it's very sad for them. And the world is a very dark and sad place, and no one should get killed for what they're saying. And we don't even know if that's truly why he got killed. The guy who killed him just seems a little bit like incapable of doing something of that nature at the level. But anyways, I'm gonna take off the tinfoil hat for now.
Has died after being shot during an event.
And despite the fact that everything would suggest that she's suffering like never before, his wife has not been given a whole lot of grace by the public. Because in the eyes of many onlookers, there is something dark going down. And the more that people dig, the more they're not liking what they see at all, leading to way more scrutiny on a widow than you would ever expect.
Serve a just God, and I rest easy in knowing that He's sovereign, but He's just. And so let the Lord handle that.
Would Charlie...
Yo, she scares me. You know what kind of vibe she gives off? That guy who's got that mega church. What's his name? Kenneth Copeland. I think his name is Kenneth Copeland. I'm gonna... One second. Kenneth Copeland. I'm pretty sure it's Kenneth Copeland. Yeah! This is the dude. Whoo! Give off. He give off like demon vibes, you know. Oh my God, he's a scary looking white man. I'm not gonna lie, guys. All right, let me see if I can just get a good image of him up here. He's a scary looking fellow, Mr. Kenneth Copeland. This is Kenneth Copeland. I'm sure plenty of people. He's got like the mega church, and he's been interviewed like a few times, and he's a really creepy looking dude. You know. Let me see if can I get a better image of this, Mr. Kenneth Copeland. You're running away from. Anyways, look at his eyes, especially in that image right there. Right? Doesn't you not get the same vibe from Erika Kirk in those eyes? They look hollow, right? This looks like there's nothing behind there. Like, I don't know if it's because of the loss and the blow that it did to her, or if there was just never anything there. It's empty. She got to be a descendant or something of this guy, because that's creepy.
have forgiven his killer?
He's in heaven.
They bring this back up, what are we supposed to do? Relive that trauma all over again? No, at this point, it's what? The conspiracy collection. Get it before Christmas. Look, stop in the name of God.
Amen.
This music is really hitting, I'm not gonna lie. It's really setting the mood. It's some real perfect music for conspiracy, freaky deaky, creepy shit's going on behind closed doors. Okay? It's hitting.
Because to some of his supporters, it really seems like her taking on the mantle of her slain husband might destroy whatever legacy he had hoped to leave. It's your boy Luesta, live from Lu Extras, and this is the curious case of Erika Kirk. As we know, Erika first truly emerged in the wake of his slaying that shocked the world. Alongside a video where she showed herself conversing with Charlie in his casket, Erika truly stepped into the spotlight when she addressed the world, declaring that his message would never die.
My name is Erika Kirk. Charlie Kirk is my husband. The evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done. They should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country. When I got home last night, Gigi, our daughter, just ran into my arms. And I talked to her and she said, "Mommy, I missed you." I said, "I miss you too, baby." She goes, "Where's Daddy?" "What do you tell a 3-year-old? She's 3. I said, "Baby, Daddy loves you so much. Don't you worry. He's on a work trip with..."
I want to be polite. Right? I want to be polite to this this idea of what's happening here, but at the same time, it's like I feel like you just lost your husband. You guys got like 2 or 3 kids. You know, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this PR thing where it's like you don't need to do this. Like you really don't. You know, be at home with your kids. Don't. Oh, we got to keep the campaigns going. We got to keep getting money. We got to do what we have to do. You know, Charlie Kirk was a big leader of foundation. You know what it's really about? It's about fucking money. Okay? It's about money. It's not about grieving or any of that. They said, hey, listen, Charlie Kirk was putting a lot of money in our pockets. Okay? Lots of it. And before he went, he was starting to change some of his views on some things. And I'm sure some people weren't about that. And then they say, hey, he's gone. We still need to get fed. And they looked over at Erika. It looks like everything's in your name. So, Erika, get to work. And I'm sure there's probably some threats involved. Because, like, what is this? This is so bizarre.
Jesus, so he can afford your blueberry budget.
What followed this was the glitzy, Trump-sponsored memorial service for her husband, during which she made a speech where she offered an olive branch to the killer.
That man, that young man, I forgive him. I forgive him because it was what Christ did and is what Charlie would do. The answer to hate is not hate. The answer we know from the gospel is love, and always love.
Before taking the stage, both Erika and her team probably envisioned this as an empowering moment, which showed her as an empathic woman who could rise above the terrible pain she'd endured. But ultimately, this isn't how audiences perceived it. Instead, the vast majority of people basically felt it was performative. After the public basically seemed eager to reject her, you would think that Erika may have retreated to the sidelines and focused on her family. Instead, she wound up taking the reins of Turning Point USA and doing her utmost to promote Charlie's posthumously released book. This led to a lot of interviews, but it was clear that this wasn't something that came natural to her. And with every quote or public appearance, the comments eviscerated her.
I feel like they were almost directed to me. And he's basically saying, stop. The world does not revolve around you. You need a moment to breathe. You need a moment to recalibrate.
Everybody's saying the same thing. Yo, go home and take care of your kids. You go home, take care of your children. No, Charlie's last words were the text he sent to people in hours and days before.
If you are so filled with busy...
Oh, yeah, I've seen this one. I like the message he sent from his family. He died saying, I have no choice but to abandon the pro-Israel cause, and I'm afraid they will kill me. But according to Erika, that never happened. Candace will keep going max for Charlie's truth. If you guys are curious, Candace Owens had actually exposed a lot what this girl or this woman here is saying on this post by Erika Kirk. She's talking about how when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, he had just recently talked about no longer supporting Israel because of some things that have been. If you're in tune with politics and you're paying attention, Israel's got their hands in everything. I don't want to talk too much about that. We can do that in another thing, anyways. So he had mentioned that he's afraid for his life, and she was denying it. And then Candace Owens was like, "No, I got the proof because we were talking about it." So she posted the proof, and this is what this woman's talking about. And most people too are just like, "Yo, lady, go be with your kids, man. You guys are loaded." Okay, who knows what kind of insurance policy Charlie Kirk had? You guys are
fucking... And the noise, the Lord cannot use you.
Yeah, you guys are floating.
So please rest, be with the Lord, be with your family, and just know that there is so much more out there than the little busyness that you find to be drowning in it sometimes.
By now, we know that the internet can be mean-spirited just for the sake of it. Just look at some of the memes that have emerged about her husband. But for Turning Point support...
What are some of these? Explore funny memes. Oh, damn.
Erika's decision to become the face of the movement presented deeper problems. For starters, there were concerns that she wasn't quite the grieving widow people believed her to be.
But it's interesting, what I miss the most, what really just hits me hard is when I'm in the grocery store and I see his hot sauce, I want to buy it. Or it's the little things, you know, his clothes.
It's the little things. It says hot sauce at the grocery store. You know, just the little things. My husband has things inside grocery stores. It's the little things. Everything about this woman just seems performative. Like it's an act, you know? Like it's bizarre. I guess, you know, it's not like we have had many opportunities to watch somebody do something like this, you know? And it just seems performative. It's the little things, the hot sauce in the store. Oh, wouldn't you say it's like waking up in the morning, him not being beside me is devastating, you know? The children constantly asking for him crushes me, you know? The smell of his cologne, his shirts, come on, like this, that makes sense. Like, it's the little things.
Clothes everywhere. Excuse me, but it's the little things, and I know that people who have experienced loss totally understand what I'm saying. It's the small things that just get you. It's the visual of, you know, Daddy coming home, and to the world he was Charlie Kirk, but to us he was my love of my life and my children's dad. I'm so sorry.
Before long,
I have seen that personally in my life, people that I know watching women grieve. They do. They all grieve differently. But this is not grief.
we owe Charlie Kirk an apology. We were like, how dare you say women should stay at home? But now that we've seen a lot of Erika, it's like, oh, okay. I still don't agree, but I do get where you were coming from. But if she thought things were going bad beforehand, it was nothing compared to what was to come when Charlie's supporters believed that she crossed a line she couldn't come back from. During an event, Erika was seen hugging Vice President J.D. Vance in a way that some people deemed to be a little too close for comfort. And when it was paired with quotes like this, where she lavished praise on Vance, these were not the best optics.
No one will ever replace my husband.
This is weird.
No. But I do see some similarities of my husband in JD and Vice President JD Vance. I do. And that's why I'm so blessed.
I swear, if my wife ever took it upon herself to start talking about another man only a few weeks after I passed about how great he is and how he's so comparable to my husband, yo, I'm fucking flying out that grave. Boom. And I'm straight doing poltergeist shit. I'm fucking everything. I'm losing it. That's crazy. That's the disrespect. I'm about to start running back and forth in this house. Ah! Screaming. That's so disrespectful. Crazy.
To be able to introduce him tonight because he understands the fight that we're up against.
Look at how she's smiling, lusting about this man, J.D. Vance. Oh, J.D.
And he can articulate that in a way that transcends. He's an amazing man.
Suddenly, she received major blowback from some portions of the right, while others were quick to point out that she is documented as being friends with JD's wife, Usha. In response, she claimed it was commonplace for her to touch people like that.
I'm starting to cry. He says he's so proud of you, and I say, God bless you, and I touch the back of his head. Anyone who I have hugged that I have touched the back of your head when I hug you, I always say, God bless you. That's just me.
Hey, yo, I can tell you right now, if somebody hugged me and touched the back of my head, a woman, and my wife seen that, she'd be like, who's that? My wife. Why'd she do that? Do what? You mean, she touched the back of my head? Yeah. Does she know you like that? Oh, no, baby. It's just what she does. Immediately, let me see your phone. What's going on? Are you cheating? That's bizarre. I wouldn't even let someone touch up my dreads. Like, get your hands off my dreads. What are you doing? Gripping up the back of my head. God bless you. What? God bless you. Get the fuck out of here.
If you want to take that out of context, go right ahead. Again, that to me shows that you need a hug more than anyone else.
No.
They were acting like you touched the back of his ass.
I feel like I wouldn't get as much hate if I did that.
However, a whole lot of the social media world that you would have expected to be behind her kept claiming that there was something inherently fraudulent about her behavior. Among the main sticking points was the frequent claim that she was shedding some crocodile tears in her interviews, as well as attending lavish fundraisers at Mar-a-Lago.
Let everyone see
what true evil is. It's interesting. What I miss the most, what really just hits me hard, is when I'm in the grocery store and I see his hot sauce. I want to buy it. Or
the little
it's the little
things.
things. You know, his clothes everywhere. Excuse me. But
It's so performative. She's fucking phony. Okay? She's a fraud. From top to bottom, I don't know what's going on or what kind of background or who she's connected to. She's a freaking fraud. Tinfoil hat on. Okay? She's a fraud. She never loved Charlie.
it's the little things, and I know that people
Hell
who
no.
experience loss totally understand what I'm saying. It's the small things that just get you. It's the visual of, you know, Daddy coming home, and to the world he was Charlie Kirk, but to us he was my love of my life and my children's dad. I'm so sorry. Understandable. Excuse me, but it's those little things where, again, he would walk through the door, drop his bag.
She's got to be like maybe a super like strong lady, man, or something. Like I just can't imagine. It's just these things, and it's so performative. It just feels fake.
Daddy's
You
home.
know, you're acting.
Take his phone Friday night, Shabbat Shalom, throw it in the junk drawer, and it was just all us. And that's what I always wanted to make so special for him, was coming home. I'd always say, baby, I don't care what time you get home. Home is here for you.
I'm sorry, I know I paused it a lot. Did she just say Shabbat Shalom? Aren't they like Christians or Catholics or something? Isn't that like what Jewish people say?
Food will never be cold. It might sit out for a little bit, but I'll reheat it. It's
Shabbat
fine. And I just
Shalom.
want to encourage spouses, don't get mad. It's so easy.
Although you could once again make the argument that everyone grieves differently and that perhaps she doesn't come across well in the media, individuals who've seen her at times where the cameras are off are just as unimpressed.
I've seen Erika Kirk in real life at church since Charlie died, and I will tell you that the performance in real life is as bad as it is on TV. I'm talking reserved front row pew, bringing her whole entourage, not her children, showing up late, dabbing her eyes when she walks back from communion because it's the one time that the whole church can see her because she's in the front row. Before you jump down my throat and say, oh, it's security purposes. No, it's not, because this church has a side section that is closer to the exit that she comes in and out of, and where only probably about 5% of the church would actually be able to see her if that's where she was sitting. But no, front row seat, the whole circus.
As her persona unravels and is dissected piece by piece, Erika is now facing the very real prospect of the past coming back to haunt. Because once they began to actively distrust the image she put forth, people began dredging up every...
She was found lying a lot about her past. We're about to dive into that. This is a really good video. You guys definitely need to check this out. I'll make sure I put the this guy's link in the description. This is a really good video. He's covering a lot.
Every little thing from her past which contradicts the holier-than-thou image she's portraying today. So here's what we know about Erika before she met Charlie. For one thing, she was a model who wasn't afraid.
Sorry, last pause for like a little bit. There's one thing I've noticed about people who are like seriously push this image of like damn near perfection in whatever they're pushing, if it's religion, spirituality, getting fit or marriage or any of that kind of stuff. If they're going too hard in the paint, it's almost always a lie. Like, I would almost go further and say almost always. It's always a lie. Like, I don't think anybody in any facet of life talks so great about certain like aspects of life where it's not lying. You know, like try to pretend like I'm a virgin, and you're talking about that. In reality, it's like, why would you even talk about that being outside? I've only dated 2 guys, and I didn't even date nobody, and that's what she's going on about. It's like you're lying. Why would you even talk about that? If you didn't, you didn't. No one needs to talk about this, but you're talking about it, so that makes me think you're lying because I didn't even ask that.
To show a little
You'll
skin.
see.
Along the way, she was even named Miss Arizona.
Scottsdale, Caitlin Willenchik. That means your new Miss Arizona USA 2012 is Erika Franzwe.
Afterwards, she appeared on a Bravo reality show known as Summer House, which is billed as following a group of young single friends from New York City who share a rented house in the Hamptons every summer weekend, balancing city jobs with a fun, party-filled lifestyle of romance, drama, and escapism. When she turned up on episode 11 and 12 of season 3, she did so in the capacity of her new love interest for a character known as Carl.
I think you're a bright light in a very dark place.
So let's go grab a mojito?
That's not necessarily anything crazy, except for her claiming repeatedly that she didn't date before meeting Charlie for around 5 years.
Liar.
When I lived out here, I was here for 5 years. I never dated here because I saw vicariously through my roommate how terrible it was. Somehow getting drinks was the replacement of having coffee and breakfast. I personally would rather have coffee or brunch with someone than go. I don't drink. I find it unproductive, not because I'm holier than whatever. I just don't operate that way. But I always thought it was very strange how she would go to drinks with one guy and then go to dinner with another. My situation was a little different. I wouldn't do it.
You went to a job interview.
Literally. So this is how good the Lord is. He knew that because I was not dating in New York City, he knew that in order for me to know that that was my man, he had to blanket Charlie as a job interview.
But it takes very minimal digging to realize that is a complete fabrication. However, what many people did not know is that not only did she date, but appeared to be in a relationship with a colleague of Charlie's. The man in question is Cabot Phillips, now senior editor at the Daily Wire and previous editor-in-chief at Campus Reform, who also worked on digital grassroots for Marco Rubio's 2016 campaign. But his most notable role came as Charlie's producer. In a bizarre twist, deleted posts appeared to suggest that Phillips was actually with Erika prior to Kirk, and that there was a lot of effort made to cover it up.
Yikes. Liar. I don't know why people lie about these kinds of things, like these, I don't know, conservatives or just people in general who are on the internet or on TV. It's like, why are you lying about your past? So what? You dated men. So what? The people who are following you, a bunch of, who knows what's, I don't know what they're doing really, You guys are conservatives, some conservative views, at least Americans conservatives are very strange. You guys got a lot of incels and a lot of racists over there. So it's like, you guys know who's following you and stuff. It's like, it's not like they're doing any better in their lives. Why are you out here pretending like you've never dated anybody? Oh my God, I had boyfriends. So stupid. What a pointless lie.
In addition to saying that she didn't date, Erika has also stated that she didn't drink. So how exactly do you explain this quote from an article written by her where she talks about happy hour with my favorite human, JT Massey, conveniently my incredible boyfriend, or these posts which her activity promoting alcohol or hosting a club night? Yeah, not a good look. Once all this was out in the public domain, there were some who felt
so what happens when you lie, man? It's hard to keep track of them,
that there was just
hard to
no
keep
way
track of your
back
lies.
for Charlie's widow. All credibility
Yikes.
is gone. Hypocrisy at its finest. It's easy to assess Erika's personality from here. She should be held accountable for telling falsehoods to paint a perfect, pretty picture. But while all this contradicts certain aspects of her current public appearance, delving deeper and following the money has led some people to think that what's truly going on with her is even crazier than just her seeming a little deceptive.
And Tyler Boyer isn't the only one that's close to orphanages in Eastern Europe around TPUSA. Erika Kirk herself is another one. She's been tied to orphanages in Eastern Europe, specifically in Romania, through a program called Romanian Angels, since she was a teenager. When she was 17 years old, she founded Romanian Angels as a nonprofit. So in effect, since Erika's childhood, she's been running orphanages in Eastern Europe, a trafficking hotbed. Is that normal activity for a 17-year-old girl to be involved with? Of course it's not. But when your father is a high-ranking member of the military-industrial complex linked to Israel's Iron Dome and American arms sales to the pariah state, and when your mother is geofencing and data mining, and she's a propagandist who's tied directly to the Israeli Foreign Affairs Ministry, maybe hanging around orphanages really isn't all that unusual.
Whoa. See how I said earlier who she connected to, who she family member, how she was just looking like how she didn't love that man. I think now I'm tinfoil hat on. I'm going full on thinking that she was a plant. She was just put there. Listen, this is your role. This is what you're going to do. You're going to be Charlie Kirk's wife. Okay, you're going to give him kids, blah, blah, blah. You know the deal. Shut up. Look at what her parents do. Yo, they were involved. Her name is on some type of paperwork for some Romanian orphanage where they're the hotbed of child trafficking. Whoa, here we go.
Because Stu Peters can get a little carried away, let's try and determine exactly what is a fact here. Yes, Erika ran an evangelical ministry in Romania that contracted with the US military and fostered children for adoption. This organization was based in the same area in Romania where trafficking is rampant, but there is nothing to suggest they were involved. As for her parents,
still weird.
They are divorced, with Erika's mom spending nearly 2 decades working for General Electric before founding multiple companies in the network security industry. Meanwhile, her father, Kent France, worked as a program manager for Raytheon, a defense contractor with US government ties, including Israel. For many people, this is an intriguing development, especially when it comes to comments Erika made in a new CBS town hall alongside Barry Wise.
Charlie always would say very clearly, Jew hate was brain rot. He would always say it. We've been to Israel twice together, and to be able to walk in the place where our Lord walked and see the Bible come to life in Technicolor, how could you hate that place?
Now, no one is suggesting Kirk was an anti-Semite. Erika paints a picture of Charlie as a man who was unquestionably in favor of Israel. And to put it bluntly, this is not necessarily true. For one thing, he regularly critiqued the Israeli government's behavior in Palestine, as well as their intersections with US politics.
Yeah, while getting funded by Israel to the tunes of $100 million. Not making it up. The information's out there. You can go check yourself. That's the truth. So he only started questioning it nearing the end of his life. And that's when I guess it started to get a little too hot, and the money's like, okay, I don't know how much my morals and this money is really worth it. You know what I mean? But $100 million will make a lot of people start chirping.
At large.
I gotta be careful the way I say this. They're gonna try to ethnically cleanse Gaza. Yep. I mean, I don't use that term lightly, okay?
Before Charlie Kirk was killed, he said Charlie Kirk fears that Israel will kill him if he continues ahead, providing space for Israel critics.
Charlie kind of starting to question the amount of influence that Israel has in U.S., not only domestic politics, but foreign politics as well.
A lot. You guys are totally controlled by them. I don't know what it's like in Canada here, but I know in the States, from the information we're provided here through, social media or alternative media means, it seems like you guys are totally controlled by them. Like 100%. The amount of money you guys give them is insane.
I just don't think we should go to war with Iran. Is a nuclear weapon Iran a threat to America? Probably. Could be.
No.
A threat to Israel, but is it a threat to America? I mean, no. India has nuclear weapons. Pakistan has nuclear weapons.
Beyond that, he went to the lengths of...
I hate that argument. No, these places that got these nuclear arms, they're not looking to bomb places, eh? Like, they're not. They're like, no one's interested in nuclear fallout. It's like, if you have it, I want it too, damn it. It's such a simple human process to think, right? Like, you see that just living on a simple scale in a neighborhood. You see some people who got, like, what do they call that? Keeping up with the Joneses. My neighbor got a new whip. John's got a new motorcycle. Peggy's got this. Matumbo over here's got that. Fuck! I want my new whip too. They're looking at you. Got nukes. You got arms over there. You got big deals over here. You got nuclear weapons there. I want my nuclear weapons too. Just to kind of keep them at bay. It makes sense to me. If my enemies, we don't really have to say enemies. We'll say enemies. If my enemies over there got nukes, I want nukes too. Because then at least if you think you can use that shit on me, hey, you best believe, buddy, I might use mine too. You know?
Arguing that Jeffrey Epstein was an Israeli intelligence agent.
That Epstein, with his little friend Ghislaine and Ghislaine's father, Robert Maxwell, who was obviously a spy of the Israeli intelligence agencies, that there was something else going on here. Epstein was not some sort of whiz-kid hedge fund manager. Epstein was playing a part. Epstein was a LARPer. Epstein was cast for a specific role, and he played it really well. It's nothing new that if you're in the intel agencies, you want to try and get as much blackmail on powerful people as possible. Easy. not hard. And this is no longer just speculation. First of all, the evidence that shows that Epstein was a creation of either Mossad, Israeli intelligence.
In this lengthy interview on CBS, Erika really tried to wrangle the narrative back in her favor, but to all the viewers, it just seemed like a facade. While others feel that the pro-Zionist direction that she's moving Turning Point USA in is transparent. I feel sorry for Erika, but she's making a fool of herself. Now that there's no sign of her time in the spotlight letting up, it's clear that Erika has more storms to weather. Considering how much controversy there is around the subject of Israel, pushing this narrative is just one of the reasons why many people have had some difficulty accepting the official narrative surrounding her husband's death. And for much of that time, one of the people who has
it doesn't make any sense. That's why, you look at the person who did it, and it's like, the killer doesn't even make any sense. You took a shot like that, clean, boom, took him out from that position? Nah, man, I could tell you, I've been to the range. I got my shooting license. I go to the range. I see the guys who are there, who are working on their shots, and guys who are like, really good. They got a sight to do all these things, and I'm no expert, but I know what I got to do to get a clean shot. It's not easy, I might miss the first one, and I seen the guy who was doing it. He don't look like somebody who's practicing at the range. Now, I know that is just, I'm judging a book by its cover, but that's kind of normal. That's what people do. We do that. And me looking at, he doesn't fit the character for someone that could take a shot that clean. BS.
Been most forcefully pushing for answers is a former friend of the family. But in recent days, there has been speculation that she's been compromised too. In recent months, Candace Owens has pressed for answers to the point that she and Erika wound up at one another's throats. Practically from the moment that it happened, Candace was claiming Kirk knew what fate awaited him, whether it was due to a dinner with Israeli donors or messages about an unknown they who were coming after them.
I want to say one more thing rather explosively. 3 people told me off record. 2 people who have this in a written communication from Charlie. 1 who is a Turning Point USA donor, and I would say very much one of the white knights in this. The very day before Charlie Kirk died, he expressed that he thought he was going to be killed. He told these people, I think they're going to kill me. Okay, he did not express that to me, so I am telling you this based off the testimony of 3 people. And I am saying this because I hope that these people who I think are good will be inspired to come forward with that. Again, those conversations I had were off record. I honor that. If I say it's off record, it stays off record. But I'm hoping that watching what I am doing and feeling the energy that is rising across the world for people who want to know what the heck happened on 9/10, that, they will be brave and they will say, yeah, Charlie did the day before he died think that he was going to be killed, and maybe tell us, who is they? Well, for once and for all, who is they? Who is the they that he thought were going to kill him?
And despite some of her critics insisting that she was wreaking havoc on a widow with her dismissal of the official narrative, Candace kept refusing to back down in her quest for the truth.
Butterfly writes, and I should actually first, let's read the top comment from last episode.
I'm going to say one thing. I'm not a huge fan of Candace Owens. I don't like how she talks about certain things out there, but especially about the people in her own community. She needs to, be a little more delicate with that because, we're your people, be easy, don't get too caught up in with how other people be talking about us. Some people just spew all kinds of nonsense out their mouths, and they don't have the true, information, the true evidence, and it's all, they don't talk about it properly. So that's why, anyways, that's why sometimes I have a problem with Candace Owens. But, as of lately, hey man, I appreciate the way she do her work. She do a deep dive on everything, right? On everything, Candace Owens be going in. It's like, damn, this shorty don't fucking play. You don't want to be doing no shady shit with Candace around, right? You know what I mean? You don't want to be doing that with Candace.
Person wrote, Issa Rae wrote,
she'll find out.
Kirk will forgive someone 1 week later for murdering her husband, but she won't forgive someone for not believing the FBI narrative. I saw a lot of people commenting that online, that the energy definitely feels different for people that want to get to the truth than it does for the person who she believes their husband. And I don't believe that is the person who pulled the trigger. I just don't. And you're allowed to disagree with Erika. You are.
I don't either.
And that's fine. She's allowed to think what she thinks, and you're allowed to think.
For me, Candace has a lot more evidence than I do. For me, he just doesn't fit the characteristics of some of the people I've seen who are into shooting and learning how to use a gun and understand how to use a gun. They doesn't fit the characteristics at all. Now, this is just a simple anecdotal evidence, my own self saying that, doesn't really hold any weight. But if I'm going to judge a book by its cover, I look at him. No, I don't think so. You know, maybe a school shooter. You know what I mean? Maybe a school shooter.
What you think? That's what I want you guys to
Not
know.
an assassin.
As things progressed, Candace became more pointed in her investigation of Erika specifically, implying that she had some intelligence ties and uncovering some truly strange things in the process.
That the person the planes were actually tracking for years was Erika. Not Charlie, but Erika was the one being tracked by these planes. And indeed, it turns out that she was correct. She discovered that between 2022 and September 2025, both of those aircrafts, SU-BTT, the yellow plane, and SU-BND, the blue plane, showed 68 overlaps with Erika's documented locations. Okay, 68 overlaps. I have since been able to add now 73 times that this overlapped, okay? And 29 of those instances also happened to include Charlie. Charlie was also present. And that's what I was stumbling upon when I was looking into this. I was like, why is this plane where Charlie is?
For context, these planes were said to be the Egyptian military, prompting a conspiracy theory that people such as Tucker Carlson later endorsed, surrounding the public's need to know who in Kirk's family they were following and why.
Candace said that Egyptian registered aircraft were following Erika Kirk, Charlie's widow, around for a number of years in different places in the world. And I just want to say that that is factually true. You know, the FBI has a moral and legal obligation to look in every direction and to be open-minded as you would in any investigation.
Once more and more people latched.
Crazy. Sounds like somebody's handler is making sure they're keeping tabs on their people. Think about that.
Onto this information, Erika had no choice but to respond to Candace, and when pressed on the matter, she basically demanded that Owens and other people cease digging.
The podcaster Candace Owens, okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's. At
Okay.
one time...
That's that Kenneth Copeland eye. That look. Who'd you say? Candace Owens. Death. Death to Owens. Bro! It's scary. I swear to God, it's scary. Oh, I got my damn motion shit going. Damn it. Anyways, sorry about that. That's crazy. That look in her eye. Okay? Listen. I don't want you guys to forget this freaking look. Okay? Let's all remember Kenneth Copeland. Okay? These are two people, one and the same entity. One and the same. Look at that eye. Look at the look in his eye. I'm crazy. I have no soul. He's another person, pursuit of millions. Biggest mega church runner in like the world. Oh, this nigga's old as hell. 1936. God damn. Whew, he's old. This guy's in his 90s, I believe. Look at those eyes. No soul. Money driven. That's what money does to you. Look at her eyes. Look at them shits. There ain't no difference. They're one and the same. No soul.
An employee of Turning Point. She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business off of these lies. What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now?
Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
But unfortunately for her, all that stance got her was trolled into oblivion.
What the fuck is...
LMFAO, she's so scary. And once she knew that she had her rattled, it seemed like Candace wouldn't stop for anything.
Like me to stop lying. And I would like to honor that, okay? I can only honor that if Erika is more explicit in terms of what I have lied about. What did I lie about? It's just incredible. There have this opportunity. The questions have been before. You could just start like going through them. Maybe they will. By the way, it's coming on Saturday. Maybe I've made a mistake somewhere, and I'm happy. I want to correct that. Right? I'm not interested. My goal is not to tell lies. It is obviously plausible that I have made mistakes. I've reviewed these lists that we've put together, and I can't find the lie. Okay. The lies that I find are coming out of Turning Point USA.
In the end, they clearly felt that this war wasn't sustainable and decided to meet up. Upon exiting the meeting, Candace claimed that it all went well.
4.5 hours later, I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm totally fine, and I'm sorry. I was going to do a show for you guys this evening, but I am truly exhausted. Very productive conversation. I asked every single question. I mean, from Egyptian planes to Turning Point USA Faith, and I was very surprised by some of the answers that I got, and I think they were also very surprised when I shared certain intel. This probably should have happened a very long time ago, but I wanted to let you guys know.
Probably like, whoa, how do you know that?
I'm alive, and I will have the full rundown for you guys tomorrow of what transpired. And yeah, I think it was definitely a very big step in the right direction. So,
and apparently this meeting with Erika meant that Owens has since gotten verification on some of her claims that people initially thought were so unrealistic.
And it was Erika saying that she had Charlie's phone and that Charlie never texted anybody the night before saying that he thought that they were going to kill him. And that obviously reflected poorly on me because I was the one who said that he did, in fact, text multiple people. They owned that right away and explained. Erika said that she has Charlie's phone. She's looking at his iMessages, and it turns out that he, like everybody else, communicates on Signal, he communicates on Telegram, and that those when she heard me say that, they then went and looked, and yes, that what I said was true. Andrew Colbert received a message the night before, and
Wait a second. Am I missing something? Am I not hip to something right now? Is that what people are using to communicate with one another? Is what did they say? Telegram? She said Telegram. Is that what she said? Is that what's going on now? People are using Telegram and Signal. Shit, I'm using like WhatsApp and just regular message like on your Android or whatever. Word. Is this like a 30-year-old person thing? Oh, what's going on here?
Dan Flood received a message the night before. Now they asked me if I had actually like a concrete a copy of what Dan Flood got the night before, and I said no. If somebody told me what it said, which was almost exactly what Andrew said, which is they're going to kill me. Andrew did not know who they were, that he was referring to were.
And while there was common ground, Owens insisted she still wasn't ready to take every aspect of the official narrative at face value.
And I said that I want to hear why people feel so confident at Turning Point USA that Tyler Robinson is the guy. And at this point, they elected to call the lawyer, their lawyer who is involved in this case. One of the lawyers that's involved in this case. There's always a team of lawyers, especially for something like this. And what I got from the lawyer did not make me feel that Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk. It did not make me feel confident that he didn't or did shoot Charlie Kirk. I was very surprised by this. He spoke a very long time. I asked, can you share with me what it is? And I said, when you share this with me, I will not say what that thing is. If that's what if we want to protect the integrity of the case, I'm not gonna. If you say we've got the footage of him taking a shot, I promise I won't say that to the audience, but I will communicate to them.
Sadly for her supporters, any concession was too much, and they are not happy that she's fallen in line or was covering for the widow. Candace took the money. Despite all the backlash that she's receiving, Candace argues that she hasn't by any means backed down.
You guys are absolutely crazy. The amount of people who attacked me.
Yeah, I remember when she went and did this interview. After she came back and didn't give us much information, I was like, oh, she took the bag. There was not much information that she gave us of any kind of thing they really discussed. And it's like, yeah, we'll give you what you're looking for, Candace, but you can't talk about this, okay? You got it straight. Like, we know you got your crazy Candace Owens brain. You just need the information. No, you're hungry for information. We'll give it to you. You hungry bitch, okay? Here's the information, but you can't talk about it. And here's some money to just shut the fuck up while you're at it too, okay?
For sending out a tweet being like, hey, I'm good, I'm alive. We had a very productive conversation. And they were like, she got the call. She got the call. She's betrayed us. She's doing something else. I can't believe it. This has all just been a show. Calm down, okay? What do you think happened?
No, Candace.
Erika said, stop. And then I was frozen for 4 hours and 30 minutes, just like, as they just put all of these talking points into my head. That is not what happened. I keep telling you guys, I am not governable. I am basically akin to Kanye West. I never felt more seen than when he tweeted a lot of years ago, just fired my manager because I realized I can't be managed. That is me.
I'm gonna pause just for a second. Hopefully she's telling the truth about that, because I have with that, I can't be managed. I know she make a lot of money. Her husband's big banking, Candace Owens, big banking. So it's like, maybe you can't buy me because I got big bank, nigga. Right? Big. I'm yelling too much. I got big bank, nigga. Right?
That tweet right there, I was like, oh gosh.
You can't buy me.
Yes, Kanye, that I get this.
But while some people are viewing her as a traitor who has abandoned her righteous mission to get to the bottom of it due to either pressure or perhaps a financial incentive, others are not buying the rift between Owens and Erika as anything other than a publicity stunt for them both.
Some of you might get upset about what I'm about to say, but this is a scripted show meant to distract you, keep you entertained, and steal your energy. While everyone is glued to the latest drama, more surveillance is quietly passed, and your tax dollars are sent overseas. Again, while people are told to look over here, the people in power are over here, stripping away your rights and stealing away your children's future. And don't forget to buy the latest book with the perfectly bolded words, "Stop God." The sooner people realize these club members speak in symbols and coded narratives, the sooner it clicks. So I hate to burst anyone's bubble, but they're not actually fighting each other. They are on the same team. What?
Gotta put that tinfoil hat on. Gotta put that tinfoil hat on. Is it great?
You're watching is not reality. It is a show. But what do I know? I'm just a conspiracy theorist. Let me know what you think.
At the moment, Erika is struggling to keep the Turning Point.
The fuck was up with all that milk? The hell?
USA brand that her late husband brought to prominence, not only alive, but credible. One reason for that is that she's simply not qualified, but the other would be that many people just see her as inherently unlikable and untrustworthy. It's not even in a way that they love to hate her either, because the numbers suggest they simply want her to go away. In a testament to how little people care, they weren't even tuning in to hear what she had to say at her CBS town hall. During her episode, viewingship among the key 25 to 54 advertising demographic dropped by 41%, compared to the network's usual programming in that time slot. Clearly, she's still attempting to find her feet as a talking head, while also being grossly unqualified to be the CEO of Turning Point. Recently, she attempted to expand her reach, trying to deliver talking points about things like the recent New York mayoral elections through the context of women.
What I don't want to have happen is women, young women in the city, look to the government as a solution to put off having a family or a marriage because you're relying on the government to support you instead of being united with the husband where you can support yourself and your husband can support and you can guys all combine together. But I just find it so ironic and so interesting that a heavy percentage of the individuals that voted for him were female.
But as soon as she started to step into this world, the people outside of her immediate bubble were already sick of it.
You are an opportunistic grifter who weaponizes your gender to demean women, and you are a walking, talking, breathing example as to why nobody, number one, wants to be a Christian, and number two, wants to be a female hypocrite such as yourself. Your language, your organization makes women less safe all across the board. Your deceased husband was an unrepentant racist and a homophobe, and women are a lot more empathetic than you are, Erika. A lot of women who have been mothers or have had attachments in their lives that felt very nurturing are able to transfer, like I'm able as a mother when I had a child, to transfer the empathy that I felt for my child, to transfer that to all people. And I think about a woman.
Above all, those who haven't warmed up to Erika Kirk just can't shake the sense that she's insincere or profit-minded. Erika Kirk was selling Charlie Kirk merch less.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby. It's all about the Benjamins. Money moves mountains. Okay, let's say it one more time. Money moves mountains.
Than 24 hours after he was shot. She is disturbing to watch. If she thinks she is subtle, she is wrong. Ultimately, she does have people defending her. You just have to dig into corners of Reddit like subreddits built for unpopular opinions. And even then, the way people have been treating her has been genuinely disturbing. As one Reddit user put it, watching how people are treating her has been genuinely disturbing. The woman's husband was shot in the back of the neck 3 months ago. She has 2 small children, and she's being accused of being complicit in his murder. not truly caring about him, being a bad mother because she looks over his organization, trying to sleep with the married vice president. They also point out what keeps happening is people completely blending two different conversations into one. And according to them, criticizing Turning Point itself is a fair game. But where they say it crosses the line is when that criticism turns into judging her character or how she's grieving. Wherever you stand on Erika, it's going to take something remarkable to turn this tide, because at the moment, she is severely struggling to get people to even hear her out. Never mind co-sign a word she says. And for someone looking to replicate their husband's business model that involved exactly that, it's a real tight spot for her to try and make a living in. As always, it's your boy Luesta, live from Lu Extra.
That's it. That's the video. I mean, that was a really good take. This guy pretty much broke down the whole Erika, Kirk, and Charlie Kirk thing going on there, which was pretty dope. Not gonna hold you. It was a good video. It kept me in the whole time. I think maybe she needs media training. I don't know. I do genuinely believe though, just because your husband passed away though, doesn't mean you should just like, I don't know, take up the mantle of what your husband was doing. It just seems like a very odd thing to do. You've never really been in the light in media like that, and here you are doing it immediately after he was murdered. That's crazy, you know. And this could be some of the reasons why she's just acting weird, you know. That could have a lot to do with it, but we don't know. That 1,000-year gaze she got in her optic scams there, in her peepers, it looks a little weird, Erika. And there's a lot of strange things being said. It could just be because, you know, people got their tinfoil hats on and they're like, oh, Erika, maybe you're involved with Israel. You know, maybe, you know, he was killed because of X, Y, and Z. I don't know. But it's weird, and I think she needs to remove herself from that realm and just go be with her kids. You got all the money in the world. You're not really making a difference. I don't fuck with that Turning Point USA or any of that shit. I think it's just full of a bunch of racists, all right? It's just full of a bunch of racists and white whiny babies. Okay, you're sitting at the top of the mountain, at the top of Everest. You guys had the chance to have everything, and you're yelling like you guys got the freaking worst. And it's bizarre. It's white fragility, and they're just building an echo chamber for that. And I think it's a terrible thing. But anyways, guys, that's kind of it for the video. It's a bit of a long one, 56 minutes, almost an hour. Whatever. I'm just gonna keep pumping them out. I might shorten them if I find a shorter video and I yap less. Then maybe the video will be shorter. But you know, try and like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Let's have a little bit of a discussion about it. I'm curious to see how other people think about the situation with Erika Kirk, Turning Point, all the money she's made after her husband has passed away, and then her just becoming like the face of it immediately. Like, these children don't need their mother home, you know, or she doesn't need the rest for her brain because she just lost her husband.